I want to do a real quick video on a broken recoil string. The pull rope, I think the spring in there is broken. I won't know for sure until we get into it, but I'll show you how to fix it. First thing we need to do is remove the recoil. Now, this cover and this bracket are holding it back, but I'm just gonna work around that. And a lot of recoils, they'll just be a separate piece. Well, that's one piece with that bracket. All right, now we can set the tool aside. There's a little spring in there still. It might have just sprung out of there, or it might be broken. Now you want to be careful when you're taking this out. There is a loaded spring inside of here, and I don't want it shooting all over everywhere. Looks like it just popped out. There's a little hole there that fits up in, and then this hooks on right here. And there is a spring down in here also. And you can see it's all wound in there. You don't want to pull that up unless it's broken. It looks like it's intact. If you get the lower spring, if you get a new one, it'll come all wound for you. And you just set it down in there. Pull it out, show you how it works. Looks like the spring did break. I'll have to order a new one, and I'll show you how to put it in. And the new spring just came in. And I'll put a link, actually it sent 2 springs. I'll put a link in the description below if you need to get a spring. Clean that out a little bit. These springs come pre-loaded, and it's a big job if you let that spring without getting it in there. So they put a wire around there. You drop this in, you see our hook right there, that this goes in. We want to drop that in there. Get this lined up. So I'm all lined up there. Now I just want to press it in. And I'm going to hold down all the way around. I got that pressed in. And now with that pressed in, I'm going to grab that wire and pull the wire up and hold the spring down. There we go. And I'll just let that load up in there. Just like that. Otherwise, you're going to have a big mess fighting with that. But you can see how that's hooked in there and all loaded now. Because this spring is inset in the body of this, it's harder to load. And I'm going to show you if you've got a spring that's sprung and you need to reload it, I'll show you a trick on how to do that. Now if you messed up and you sprung the spring, I'm going to show you a little trick to get it back with the wire wrapped around it. Just heat up the tip of a screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, and this is the same width as that wire there, the spring. It's good enough. And I'm going to put a notch in the bottom of it. This is 1/2 inch water line. Let's put a notch in the bottom of that. And still got the wire that it came with. Otherwise, you can take a piece of wire and make your own about this size. And you can put it around there and then just twist it and tighten it up if you need to. But if you sprung it, you probably still have this wire that came around the spring. We're going to hook the spring into here, and I'm going to take a screwdriver and punch a hole through a couple pieces of cardboard. If you have an extra person around, you don't even need to do that. And actually, I can put this on later. But you just hold this down and turn it. I guess I didn't put such a good notch in here. And I just put a piece of tape on that because it wanted to pop out. Hopefully that'll hold that in. And you just hold this with one hand. You want to keep the spring flat. Just turn, keep it flat, turn, keep it flat. See how it wants to pop up over here? And it's good to wear safety glasses because if this spring pops, it can shoot all over everywhere and you don't want it shooting in your eye. So be sure to put safety glasses on. And just turn, turn, turn. It helps to have a third hand on this screwdriver over here, which I don't have. But if you have a helper, that would be good. Sorry to block that, but I got to keep my hand over this, otherwise it's going to want to pop up. And if it does pop up, just let off just a little bit and you can push it all back down. Now this is under a lot of tension, so you want to be careful, especially your eyes. Now, you get the wire over here and slide that down. Okay, I'm around it. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to slowly let the tension off and make sure you hold the wire, the spring down and the wire staying down. Lift the screwdriver out. Like I said, you might even want to wear gloves for this in case that thing shoots out. But make sure you got your safety glasses on. There we go. Now I taped this in here, but you can see the wires all the way around. We're a little thin over here. Bring it back into the middle. Good. Don't want to pull that out. It would have been easier if I didn't have to tape that, but I did. There we go. See the wire's good. Got the tape out. And we're back to factory specs here. Hopefully you won't have to do that, but if you do, I hope that helps. And I'll keep that if I ever need it for another machine. We've got our spring all loaded. Now we're ready to put the pulley in and the string. Now this is the string that broke, and it's very important to get the right string to load your spool. These look almost identical. And I'll show you with my caliper. I've got this set on inches. The one we need, which came out of here, is 0.08, 8/100ths of an inch. Well, this string here is for a steel 2-cycle, and you'd think, well, surely that would work. it's 0.11 inches. So 11/100ths. Well, I loaded this on this spool, and you cannot get it wound enough. It fills up too fast. Just that little difference. So I went to Ace Hardware, and I also went to Lowe's. At Lowe's, you have to buy a whole spool of string, and it's not necessarily made for a pull cord, a starter. And they wanted 10 bucks, 11 bucks. So I went to Ace. You go to True Value or Ace, and this is 0.07, but this is strong, strong stuff. It's made especially for that. And you could order it online, but this is 35 cents a foot. So I went ahead and got 5 feet, which will do 2 of these. That takes 30 inches. And 5 feet cost me $1.75. So that's the way to go. Now, before I go ahead and load this, I'm going to burn off the end, and that'll keep it from fraying. I just take a rag. That gives you a good solid end on it. Now I'm going to go ahead, and I got 5 feet, so I know I need half of this. So I'll just take half of it, cut it in half, and we'll burn off the other end. And then I'll go ahead and run this through for the handle. Just run it through, tie a knot in the end. And pull that through. Actually, I think I'm going to run the string on this one through here first and pull it up since that inset's so far. That notch goes down. There's the hole there. Run it through. You can use a little screwdriver or a knife or anything to pull that up. And again, we just need a little knot in the end of this. Which ain't going nowhere. And I'm going to go ahead and drop this in. Now you see the hook on the end of that spring? That hook has to hook in here. So you want to line that up right about there. You'll feel it drop in. There we go. And then just take it counterclockwise. You can see the spring's loaded there. So we're good to go. Now I'm going to go ahead and start winding it. And you see this notch right here? You're going to bring this around and you pull the string up into that notch. Pull it up. Got my loop there. And put it in the notch. And I'm going to wind it 5 times. All right, there's 2 turns. Pull this through. And let it wind in. Didn't go very far, and now I'll do 2 more turns. Mercy. There we go. And while I'm doing that, I'm holding this. You don't want that to pop out. Then you got a big mess on your hands, and you can even spring the spring out of there. So, anyways, we're good there. Now we'll take this, and this hook fits right in there. And there's a hole there, a little pin there. Get those lined up. Good. We'll tighten this down. Very important to wear safety glasses while you're doing this. These springs are sharp and they're strong. Now we can throw it back on and we should be good to go. It's got to go underneath that a little bit. There we go. fit right in there. And if it doesn't go right in, just pull on this and it'll lock into that flywheel. There we go. We're good to go. And maybe I could go one turn tighter, and you know how to do that. And the spring might stretch out a little bit over time, but it's no big deal to pop this off, tighten it one turn, throw it back on. I hope this video was a help to you. If it was, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. And I look forward to helping you with other projects online.